All right. Appreciate you giving me an opportunity to do that. I'm sure you probably took advantage of it as well. Now, can you imagine the folks that would have copied the long up here? They're getting punished for that. Am I cruel for doing it? I'll leave that up to you. Now, how we do this? Let's go to a little bit more data back here. And this is a 15-second chart. All right. And we have new day opening gap down here that could draw to. And real quick, I'm going to be with you until I do 10 of these. So while I said we'd be here till 10:30, if it requires me to be here a little bit longer to get 10 executions, that's how long it will be, okay? Just know that if we are thinking, Caleb, that if we're bearish, if this is the market price that the market you're trading, which is NASDAQ, like right now, that's the market price at 241.5. If this is market price and you think that it's going to go to this level down here, what level would that be? That'd be like an old low, relative equal lows, an inefficiency below price, or in this case, the new day opening gap. That could be a draw, okay? But right now, we're seeing it trade into an inefficiency, which is this blue shaded area. If this is where you think price is going to go, that's your draw on liquidity. You have to know where you think you're going to be wrong. In the beginning, son, you're going to do this wrong a lot, and it's normal. Okay, you don't have to worry about it. Don't make it a big thing. If you increase it to a degree of importance in the beginning, you're going to think about it like that the rest of your career. This is your stop loss. You must always have one of these. You never, ever, ever assume a position and not have this. Ever. This is your insurance policy, okay? This tells the market that you are admitting that you're wrong, and this is a good time to be wrong, because if it goes to this point, you're basically saying that if price goes from market price and you get in the area near this, but it trades up to this price point, you're saying to yourself and to the market with your execution that I am wrong about my idea and I want to be out at that price, because if it goes to this price, your belief is it could go higher and incur larger risk or loss. And this is to mitigate that unrealized exorbitant loss or blown account. So this is not a bad thing. It's not to be viewed as something terrible. It's not a cancer cell, okay? It's not something that you want to stay away from. It's something that you want to embrace. This is your shield, okay? Where market price is, that is where we're at right now, mark to market. That means wherever the most recent tick in price is showing, every time this little green box moves and fluctuates, that's market price. 251.25, 251.5, 250 even, 249.5, 250 even, 250.5. Okay, that's market price. That's this. If you believe that this is your draw, okay, this is essentially your target. This is what you're aiming for. Since this drill is not equipped to do things like partials, it's one and done. It's a full stop, full target. That's it. One of the two are going to happen. Whichever one trips first ends that exercise, and you got to wait to do another one. Okay. So if you're expecting price to draw down here, that means you're bearish. You have to be able to determine where you're going to frame your stop loss at. That entry point is the secondary concern. And let's say that this is your entry. Your entry price. And this will be based on if we're bearish, some kind of a premium array. Okay. So how would you frame a setup like that? Well, when we're bearish, we want to sell short when price is going up. So we're going to sell on a limit. So if market price is right here, well, let's just do it real quick with this one. See this little gap? See that little gap right there? We can go in, right click on the platform, go to trade, sell limit, one contract, right there, just above. Let's move it down here. Right. There's the actual high. One tick below it is there. The stop loss gets dragged to the high. And then the target would be taken down to the high plus one tick right there. Okay. So now what I've done is I've used the logic over here that I was outlining. The market would have to come up, trade to this candlestick's high, and that would book the limit order entry on a short. The stop loss would be here, the take profits down here. I don't personally care. I don't care if I'm right or wrong. That's the execution, that's the entry. And the logic is over here. You're seeing it do this. Like here's the market price. You think it's going to go down here. You place a limit order, a sell limit order. The market has to go up to it. So you're selling short as the market is going up, away from where you think it's going to go. Limit orders have to be entered above the market price when you're selling short. When you're buying on a limit, okay, when you're trying to do the opposite, say you're bullish, everything here would reverse. It would be something like this. And say you believe that the market's going to go up to some old high, some kind of fair value gap, something to that effect. And you have to be able to frame it around the basis of here's the market price. And at the time, if you're bullish, you can frame a trade on entering on a limit. So you're going to buy on a limit. That means the market price has to drop down to your price and lower. So whatever your limit order price is, if you're trying to buy it, it has to go at least the minimum of one tick below that price. That's the filling mechanism. Okay, so it has to fulfill that at least to accomplish that order being executed. If it just trades to your price and not go any lower than that, it won't fill you. Sometimes, because of your contract size, if there is a say you're trying to do an 8 or 10 contract trade. Okay, so now you guys watch and see a losing trade. Okay, what you're going to do is log this. I'll come back to that in a second. You're going to log that. From your entry, how much did it give you in terms of unrealized profit, if at all? How much time did it take to get to target? It didn't get to target. How long did it take in terms of time to get to your stop out? How much time did it take for that to happen? And then what happens is you get data based on that. How much time do your trade executions last? So you don't have a baseline on how long your trades usually last. Now, there are tools out there. There are things that give you that KPI, that measuring instrument of how long your average trade is. What is your average profit? What is your average risk per trade? All those things can be calculated by yourself manually. And you want to have that data yourself. You don't want to just rely on some kind of external thing. You want to get comfortable with seeing it and knowing what it is for yourself as a trader. All right, so that's one. So we have one transaction done. And you're not trying to make money, Caleb. You're trying to practice using the mechanism of a limit order, framing the setups, okay? Let me finish this back here, and then we'll go just right into price action because we're right. Let's watch the opening price. I don't have the disclaimers on here. I should have had that on there. Sorry. I'm watching that little inefficiency there. But if you're bullish, you're going to see market price. You have to wait for price to drop down away from your market price. So it has to go to a discount. It has to be a down tick. That's what high frequency trading algorithms use for their entry models. It has to drop down first, here to here, and go below that by one tick. Okay, and then the buy limit order, if you're bullish, that would trip, and then you would look for it to draw to your target or get stopped out. So if you're buying, you're going to be buying below market price on a limit. If you're selling short, you're selling above the market price on a limit. All right. So let's pull up the regular trading hours. Small little gap in here. It's already filled that. There we are. Now, when you're doing these drills, this is when you can put on some music that you like listening to and just relax. Don't try to put too much emphasis on. I see there's a volume imbalance right there, and now we have this. Gap. Down to into the open gap. Okay, so this is drill number 2. And you log every individual point of reference for your measurement. How long it takes for the trade when you enter it. Like how long at the time you entered the trade order, not when you entered. Okay, so there you go. There's one. So now we have 50-50. We have a losing trade and we have a winning trade. It's not about the money. It's about the experience of placing the orders, Caleb. And you're going to sit and wait and relax. Trade down to new week opening gap. Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what do you do? What do you do to instigate the trades, ICT? Like, what are we doing here? Like, what is the reason for you to get into a trade? Whatever you're practicing. Because Caleb's learning the fair value gap, his practice session is going to be just simply looking for fair value gaps. After the market has created some measure of jaggedness, like it's made its jaggedness up here, traded down. You watch me pick this one here. Obviously, you know what that one is. I mean, it's the first fair value gap of the morning. It's at 9:31. So it fits the criteria, and you saw how fast it delivered. So I just want the haters to take notice of that. But anytime that you're trying to trade with an order block, if you're practicing with that, you can trade with order blocks. You can trade with institutional order flow entry drills. Whatever mechanism or PDA rate you're using to practice with, that's what you're doing. Okay. All right, so I see this gap in here, but I want to try to alternate buying and selling back and forth. Like I want to do that for the purposes of kind of like skewing the experience factor here. So I want to kind of like mix it up a little bit. I was looking for a coin, but nobody has any cash anymore around here. But I was going to flip a coin, and I was going to take my first drill as a long if it landed on heads or tails. I would go short. That would be my first exercise. But I just said, screw it. I'll just go in here and just wing it. Okay, got 8 more of these things to do. Jamming to Kicks, by the way. Bows are rocking right now. Kicks is a local band, old rock band. All right, now let's say that you were going to try to be a counter trend trader, okay? And we're in a 15-second chart. Let's try to do a drill, which is obviously going against order flow. But you want to get this experience. You want to feel what it feels like to enter the order using the logic of buying when the market drops, as we've already shown 2 times here, selling short with a limit order. I want to try to find one on a buying opportunity, even though it's against the underlying order flow. And if we can frame a small little fair value gap here on the 15-second chart and try to trade back up into this inefficiency right here and try to draw back directionally to the new week opening gap. It need not trade back there all the way, but if it can give me an opportunity to this thing's lagging. Well, I would be in long right now. The stop, there it is. Let's see, it's fucking around. TradingView, look, man, you're losing here in front of everybody. I'm trying to show this stuff with your stuff, and you asked me to do an affiliate program, and I'm not able to use it in front of the world. Okay, so we'll get back up into there. You see me adjusting it, but it won't update. So awful, awful, awful. Good grief. Again, TradingView, this is a bad look for you today. That should be stopped at, yeah. So that would be framed on as it was looking like a fair value gap, trying to trade up to there. So now you have 3 transactions. Immediate response, stopped out. It's not giving you any indication that it wants to go higher. Wonderful. Pay attention to this, TradingView. I know you watch my videos, but you got to get your shit together because this is not a good look. All right, so now scrunching this up, we have that. Remember that yesterday I was showing you the 60-minute discount with consequent encroachment. We're trading inside of. I want to be filled in that gap right there. And stop us right there. Take profit. We'll try to aim for just above that consequent encroachment wick. Okay, this is execution 4. Again, all we're doing is practicing. What I just did there, I was looking in between these 2 candlesticks here, and I wanted to be inside that as an entry. Part of the drills, when you have more experience using it and practicing with it and playing around with it and having fun, that's what this is supposed to be. It should not be, I'm afraid it's going to be a bad result. I'm afraid that it's going to be all losing trades. I'm afraid it's going to be a net loss on the day. You don't think about that. You're in here practicing, trying to get a feel for using, number one, the platform, because it's risk-free for you to be able to do this. It's not something that's scary. It's only scary because you're saying it should be scary. You're saying that it demands the results of profitability or being right. It's not about being right. This is something for you to play with. And you're using the demo account properly. You're executing with it. You're not trying to prove profitability. You're not trying to avoid losing trades. You're just getting the practice of including the use of the PD arrays and looking for liquidity and following order flow. Go against order flow sometimes. Get a feel for what it feels like to do that. Because if you try to avoid every instance of where things might hurt you, you're never getting the proper experience. Like you don't know what it's like to make money and big money yet. And that's a scary feeling. You think it's going to feel good. It's not. It's going to be terrifying because you're going to freeze up. You're not going to know what to do. So if you relax, let's say it that way, if you just simply relax and allow your practice sessions, these drills, it's just like you taking a walk. It's good for your health. Put some music on, listen to an audiobook. You're exercising. You're moving your trading muscles. You're trading with the tools. You're using the logic. And now watch. This is something where if it took out this low, say it takes out that low. If you want to go one step further in your drill, in your annotations, you would say, okay, hypothetically, if this were a trade that I was using in my funded account, I would take a partial right there if I had more than one contract. And that means this would no longer be open to a loss because you've pocketed something. And then you can roll the stop after that partial. And when you're practicing, even though you have one contract on, the logic is you annotate that one partial was taken below the low here. So you would have a partial below here from your entry. That's pretty good. Like it's better than most live streamers out there in terms of what they're capturing. I'm not trying to shit on any of them, but I'm just saying, like, let's be practical here. Some of these guys out there are not looking for home runs, and they don't need home runs. I mean, look at Trades by Matt. He was doing 10-point runs and made over $300,000. Took it all out. Truth be told, I told him in private, I said, take all the money out and then start all over again. That way you've banked $500,000 plus. Like it's yours. Like they can't take it from you. If you're going to be consistent by starting all over again because you have a huge windfall right now at your reach. You just take it. And he made his decision. So the idea that you would like build in a pyramid, you can practice that too. I don't necessarily see anything yet that I would have pyramided on except for that one right in here. That's a nice little one. That right there, that's a nice point. But if we recall, remember these levels over here yesterday? Like down here, it's like these relative equal lows. I think if I'm not mistaken, it was on a, I don't know what time frame it was, to be honest with you. Oh yeah, duh. There's the benefit of having annotations correctly, right? The 15-minute relative equal lows based on September 23rd's weekly low, but we also have 15-minute relative equal lows on sell side. So even if this were to stop out, we can look for another opportunity to engage with it to see if we can get a rundown into the discount wick constant encouragement of the hourly chart and maybe try to gravitate towards that again, September 23rd's weekly low and 15-minute relative equal lows. All you're doing is getting experience. That's all this is about. It's not about being better than somebody else. It's not about being profitable. It's not about passing combines. It's you just practicing, getting used to taking the orders and entering them, and then submitting yourself to whatever the market's going to do afterwards. Because right now, I don't have control over what the market's going to do. Like I have to submit to it. Like whatever it's going to do, it's going to do. And then I'm doing it right in front of all of you. I'm pushing the button, okay? I have no fucking fear of doing this. Zero fear. Even less now because this is a drill. But you're going to see me pick the right moves. You're going to see me trade them with precision. They're going to go to my targets. And you're going to be left with, hey, what do we do now? Right, what do you do with that? It's not going to make you a better trader because you saw me do it. It's not going to make me any less of a trader or any more of a trader. It doesn't make me more right when I do it. I already know I can do it. You want to be entertained by it. You think that you have some influence or power over me because you say you won't do it. You won't trade live. You won't trade live. Motherfuckers, I will trade circles around all of you. Okay. But that's not the point of this. When we get to the point where we have to start pushing the buttons, I told you we'd be here. We're here now. I want my son to know how to use limit orders. I want him to see what it feels like to be in the orders, how he measures his own personal engagement. Like he has to recognize that stuff. And if you don't recognize it, you won't get accustomed to normal. This is normal for me to feel like this. And over time, that trepidation, that anxiety that you initially feel, it goes away because you've been there so many times and the thing that you were fearful of never happened. It never happened. So what's actually happening is you're being desensitized to the what if thinking while you're in a trade. Well, you're supposed to be focusing on what's it telling me while I'm watching price action? Is it telling me that it wants to continue moving higher or moving lower? Everything that you're reading in terms of watching individual candlesticks, this is tape reading. It bumped the high here, filled in this entire gap right here. Right there. Okay. Then traded lower. Right now we're sitting at these lows. We would not want to see it trade above here. We want to see it break heavy down here. But what happens if it does take out that high? What happens if it stops out this position? No problem. If it shows a displacement lower again, I'll use another 15-second fair value gap to try to get a short on and aim for that 60-minute again. Now, I know which ones I want to trade on. Caleb doesn't know yet. You don't know yet. But doing these drills every single day, there should not be a day that goes by unless you're on vacation. And you would annotate that as a partial. So, okay, underneath this low, you would type out in your chart and screenshot it and say, I would have a partial here. And then you would have whatever that partial, we'll just say that closing price is your partial. So you'd get out at 20,066 from an entry at 116.75. So again, you're beating the fuck out of the YouTubers, and all we're doing is a drill. That's how you remind yourself. You give yourself encouragement. You cheerlead yourself. This is better than so-and-so. I've been impressed by so-and-so's trading. And now see how it's running here? Then you can do another partial. Why? Because it's starting to expand. It doesn't need to go down here yet. It could wait and do it later on. So you would do a partial in here. So you'd have a partial at, we'll say, 2041.5. So 20,041.5. But you only use one contract because you're trying to avoid feeding fear and avoid feeding greed. Isn't this fun? It's fun, isn't it? You like it because I'm pushing the buttons. But it should be fun for you because you're watching with a purpose. You're not just pushing a button with no understanding of what it is you're watching or studying. That's a waste of a demo. That's a waste of a demo by doing that. Now imagine if you did not say partial, where you did not annotate that you have taken partials off. While you're doing the drills, by annotating that, you're training yourself to do what? Look for opportunities to take partials. Look for opportunities to take partials. Look for opportunities to take something out of the trade. Take something out, fund the trade, remove some of the risk. Give yourself that cookie, that little reward, that little attaboy, that a girl pat on the back. In the beginning, you need a lot of that stuff because it's hard to wrestle. It's hard to get into a trade and and submit yourself to an idea when you don't have any experience. That's why you want to watch me live stream. That's why you want to watch me push the button. That's why you enjoy watching my trades. You like watching that because you're living vicariously through my executions. But it's entirely something different when you're doing it over live data, when you have to submit yourself to it and you have to wait however long it takes. And every time we had an opportunity where I said, when it gets below these lows, that's a partial. You want to record how much time it took from the point of your entry, what minute mark it was up here, and up here, where those entries were, and that's a partial right there. You take off one there, and then you want to see speed drive right into that 60-minute consequent encroachment. That's what would be ideal here. But because you're taking partials, as price goes below the previous lows, every time it makes a low and retraces back, when it does that, you absolutely, if it trades off as a opportunity to go back below it one more time, even if it's one tick, you have to take a partial. You have to do that because you're not going to have the experience to, number one, sit through the trade in its entirety. You're going to be fearful. You're going to want to get out of it. It's going to cause you heart palpitations. And remember, you're only trading with one contract. But that one contract is going to feel like you're risking your entire mortgage, right? You're risking everything that makes who you are as a person financially. So when you see this stuff and you see it panning out and you're practicing in a drill like this and it goes to where I'm teaching you, how are you going to listen to these people that tell you you'll never see ICT trade live? You'll never see him outline a trade. You'll never see him push the button. You'll never see him give you the watch behind a trade. You'll never see that. But here I am doing it again. And they're still going to come out and tell you that I don't ever do it. Oh, you got lucky. Oh, this, that, and the other thing. It's okay. It's okay. Other people's opinion about you aren't going to change the facts about you as the trader. The same thing here. Now, because we went into that consequent encroachment of that discount wick, I would want to see it try to make an attempt to go below that and draw down into the relative equal lows. So let me see if I can get one more fair value gap in here before we can get down here. It could just very well, reverse here or drive aggressively lower. At this point, if we were trading today, like if this was a trading day, I would be done for the morning session. If I was closing it out here, I would be done. And I would just look for this move as a moral victory and be like, yay. Truth be told, though, I wouldn't be out just here. But let's just say that was the position, and I either say I got stopped out and I've made as much as it's shown here, I would more or less say, okay, I'm just going to watch the rest of it deliver. And I've done this in front of my students too. I lost track on how many transactions we had so far. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 4 trades. Look at that. There's red. You don't ever see that. Look at that. Look at the difference between the green and the red. That's probably random. So watch that consequent encroachment of that wick. Okay, we went down below it. I like to see when price gets down below it and comes back up and uses it as a premium array. I like to see that. But that's not what we're studying here, so I can't execute on that. It's got to be a fair value gap. Every single day, you're going to be practicing, looking for liquidity, where the market will likely to draw to, where it will hopefully not go to, that we can frame a stop loss. And then you get into the exercise and you relax. You condition yourself by holding on to the position. I can't hear myself. I don't hear any of my audio coming through. Can you guys hear me? I'm asking on Twitter if you can hear me. Just give me a 5x5, please. Man, I hope that was picked up the whole time I was talking. Good grief. Can you hear me? Somebody, please. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. I'm not sure why I can't hear anything on my end. All right. As long as you can hear me, I'm not changing any settings over here. All right, so here we have another low. And when I have my notes, it may not give me a fair value gap. It may just plow into them relative equal lows now. All right, we'll go there and we'll look for a drive into that. So this is exercise number 6. We don't need to be right. It doesn't need to pan out. If it stops out, it's not a big deal. It's just you submitting to the idea that this is unfinished business down here. Okay, and it's 15-minute relative equal lows. We're in close proximity to it. We came up and we swiped this little short-term high in here and we broke down. And if it trades lower, we are in a position where we could capitalize on that. If it stops out, no problem. I'll wait for it to break down again and it gives me another fair value gap. If it gives me another fair value gap after being stopped out, if I get stopped out, okay, stopped out. Now I have to wait to simply, if it gets back below the low in here, the rejection block, that candlestick's closing price. Any movement lower than that, it doesn't need to create the lower low here. We don't need to pierce that. Every single instance that a fair value gap forms, okay, every single one, which I missed this one here. I would have used this one with a stop loss right above here. So in fairness, for the exercise and the drill, I would already be filled in here on a short with a stop loss right above this high. But I wasn't able to execute on that fast enough because I'm talking. But what you're doing is you're looking for every instance of, and that would be a stop out, every instance of a fair value gap, and you're engaging every single one of them, with you aiming for a particular pool of liquidity or inefficiency, something that's given you some kind of directional bias. If it's directionally driven like today, it makes it pretty easy to trade on one side of the marketplace. But there's going to be days where you go in and you're practicing and it's this range bound. And that's actually the better times to be trading with your drills. Let me see if I can do something in here. We already filled that one. All right, let's see. Those look smooth, do they not? And there's a minor buy side liquidity pool here. So let's do this. And stop loss here, and we'll aim for, man, TradingView is lagging. Everybody must be doing paper trades. We're all fading you, ICT. That's good. All right, so this is the fair value gap, and we're just trying to go against the grain here. And add this to that, and this. Come on. Good grief. There we go. So all we're doing is aiming for this tiny little minor buy side liquidity pool right there. And if it goes there and really rejects and starts to sell off, that means that we could probably see that 15-minute relative equal lows get pounded. And maybe even go lower. How about that? But I feel like I've lost something today. Like I've always enjoyed having not done any executions in front of you live. I mean, I've done them before. You all know I've done it, but you've never seen me do this many of them in front of you. And I kind of feel like minor buy side liquidity. I feel like you're going to want me to do this a lot, and that's what I've been trying to avoid because I don't want to do these types of things because it's better for you to be in here doing it yourself. You're not going to learn anything by me doing it. The only thing it does is it creates codependence. And I've seen this in my own private mentorship students. Look at that. See that? Good old Phil. It's all right. Wait till you see what I do in the PM session, motherfucker. So there you go. It came down, wicked through, stopped, and then ran to the target. Now think about what that feels like right now. What does that feel like? If this was a live trade that you were trading in, would you be angry? Would you be mad? Would you be stop talking to me in the Telegram channel, or I will ban you? All right, so now we have this little gap right here. Look at this one here. See that one? All right, so we had buy side taken, and now, again, lagging. Useless trading view. You're fucking useless today, okay? How's that for affiliate marketing? This is some lame ass shit. There you go. I'll show you this in a second. Let me, what the fuck? The stop's not even adjusting. I just dropped it, and it still ain't populating. Unbelievable. Oh, thank you. I could have made fucking breakfast in the time it took that. So if we have the low here to this candlestick's high, you see that? What I'm doing here is showing you the difference between the high of this fair value gap here and here, and it's 50%. So my stop is at the highest point, because if this is an inversion fair value gap, it should never breach the halfway point. But for Caleb's abilities, he's not going to know that. He doesn't have enough experience seeing it. So by having it run up to just half of that gap here, and the gap looks like this. It's this one right here. And then take it off. Yeah. So what I'm saying is inside this little area, allow me to take the execution officer for a second. I'll put them back on in a moment. This is an inversion fair value gap, and it's already delivered to half of this wick. So that would be a partial. And then this low here would be a partial. This gap in here could be a partial. Consequent encroachment here could be a partial. The new low here, that would be obviously a partial. But entering on the inversion fair value gap, when it has a gap like this, you have to look at the midpoint or consequent encroachment of the gap above it. Because think about like model 2022, how if it has two fair value gaps inside of that price leg that displaces lower, it can always, you have to afford yourself the ability to weather some kind of a delivery into the higher fair value gap when you're going short, like this case here. So the stop would have to be above the midpoint. So to reduce some of the risk, we'll go right at the consequent encroachment because we've already had enough movement lower. If it comes back and stops me out, it's no problem. It's one more transaction. But you're seeing, and now we're below here. So I'd like to see that one support price to the downside if it trades into it. It can wick through it a little bit, but I want to see it kind of roll out and attack these lows and get down into this imbalance there. So back inside the inversion fair value gap here. Remember, partial would have been at consequent encroachment. Every time we see a big, large wick and we're going to trade and it trades down into it, consequent encroachment of a wick is always a potential candidate for a partial. And in the beginning, every single time you do that, like it would be here, you would be partialed out with something, one. And then if you get below this low here, that'd be another partial. Here's another. And all you're doing is just simply mapping out price, having fun while you're doing it. You're not trying to be critical of yourself. And that's not the right color though. All right. And I would like to see it get real heavy in here and try to displace below these two relative equal lows in here and back below that 60-minute discount consequent encroachment. Most of the questions you guys ask, motherfucker. And you'd screenshot that as a partial. Motherfucker. Post another one, you're banned. I just fucking told you guys to stop. What the fuck? And another partial would have been inside this gap here. And then now the stop can roll to cover costs. We want to see speed. And if it goes below this one here, it goes below that low, we still have to deal with the consequent encroachment of this mid gap, or mid wick rather. Does any of this look familiar? Like, does it look like the things that you see me doing in my recorded videos? It's the same stuff. I'm just picking the better entries. But I'm showing you everything that you could consider and how you factor all that stuff in. And you're never going to learn how to do this until you get in here and you practice like this. Annotating, screenshotting. And doing it every single day. What the fuck? There you go. There's the speed we're looking for. That would be a partial, and we want to see it drive down into the take profit, which Trinity's done a really good job of fucking around with today. Let this be something for your tech team to be working on, folks, because You can see I'm live streaming this stuff and it's not working well. My concepts are working well. I'm admittedly fucking raging right now because I've asked my private mentorship students to stop posting in the channels that I don't want to toggle off to do the little mute button. But I just had to go in there and raise hell. And I'm pissed off because they kept doing it. So the 15-minute relative equal lows are the top of that blue shaded area. And there's another example of I'll never trade live in front of you. There's the executions. And none of this was done with market replay. That's how you do it, Tito. That's how you do it. What the fuck? Listen, I am live streaming. My alerts in here are on. Every time you fucking post here, it's appearing in my live stream. If I see it again, I'm banning you. I've been very clear about it. Stop posting until the live stream's done, please. Now, you understand that? The fuck? Okay, so you tell me, is this something that you think would be worthwhile for you to do with your demo account? Now, I'm not saying you're going to be able to be this good at reading it. You're not going to be that good at it in the beginning. Caleb's not going to be that good in the beginning. But you're never going to get to be able to acquire the skill set to say that you are good until you get in here and you experiment and you practice and you practice and you practice and you practice. You ask me, how do I know these things? How do I know this? First of all, you have to have a baseline foundation of what it is that you're going to be expecting in price action. You have to predict price, folks. That's the reality of this, okay? You have to predict price. We're not reacting to shit. I'm waiting for something that I'm waiting to see form. When it forms, I'm engaging it. I'm selling into it when it's going up. I'm not selling when it's going down. I'm not chasing price. I never fucking chase price. Twitter has a real big fucking bitter pill to swallow today, okay? They have a real big fucking pill to swallow. And I hope they fucking choke on it. Because this is an everyday instance, every single day instance where looking for the things that I teach and price gravitates to them. We wanted to see these 15-minute lows traded to yesterday. No problem. Not a problem at all. It delivered the next day, but there was trades taken in my students group, in the free students community. I mean, everybody was basically copying what I was outlining yesterday in the NASDAQ, and they were sharing it. And admittedly, that kind of pisses me off because if you want to make your trades on that stuff and you make money off of it, keep it private. Don't tell me about it. Don't at me, okay? Because it gets in my head and screws me up. Like right now, I'm pissed off that my private mentorship group, one of them has, it's very simple. If I say, stop posting in the channel, like, what the fuck are you in there doing that? I'm live streaming. I'm literally teaching right now. What are you in there conversing about? You should be watching, paying attention. You're in there fucking chit-chatting. And the fucking alerts popping up. I'm fucking raging right now. I'm literally fucking fuming right now. I could spit fucking nails. All right, so I done lost count where we're at now. How many do I got to do to get to 10? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 3 more to do. Let's see if I can lose this $3,100. All right, let's see here. We've wiped out the 15-minute relative equal lows. Let's do this. Go over to Let's go to a 15-minute chart real quick. All right, and yes, it's ugly. Let me take this stuff off for a second. So here's those relative equal lows. We traded down to that. That was what I was trading. We have this low, and let's examine that low, see if there's anything in here we can use. Are you having fun today? Isn't this fun? It's all fun. It's just drills, okay? It's exercise with a purpose. All right, so we have this inefficiency right there. Okay, and we're inside that right now. So the next order of business would be rejection block there. And then the actual low. And if you want extra credit, you can do the consequent encouragement of the wick there. So there's our next three key levels. And that would look like over here, these. Okay, and all I just did was wrote down on my notepad these individual levels and just shorthanded little notes as of what they are. Rejection block, 19,894.5. Consequent encouragement, 19,877.5. And 15-minute low, 19,860 even. Okay? And then we can go back and add all this bullshit back on here again. And just simply watch. We have the weekly buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, consequent encouragement level down here at 19,883.25. We have a volume imbalance in there. That could have been used for a short exercise as well. This right here. There's the volume imbalance right here. So now let's practice with that in mind. Like we're going to use really, really low towards the low of the day, low probability, but unfinished business down here. We have weekly buy side imbalance, sell side efficiency, consequent encouragement. Stop loss. And then target right before getting to that level. Okay. It's not a fair value gap, but I'm just going to show you because I'm getting pissed off sitting here. And I want to get through the exercise number that I was supposed to go through 10. So now we're at 8. Now the volume imbalance being treated as something bullish. See that volume imbalance right there? I'm using what this market's giving me. It's not giving me a fair value gap yet, so. First presented fair value gap today was a banger. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. above consequent encroachment of the wick. Okay, that's 9. I got one more to go. We have a fair value gap here. Below. Let's see if we can try to make a run onto these relative equal highs. Easiest way to get over your fear is to simply just get in here and press the button and just submit to whatever it's going to do. And over time, you'll get better at reading price. You'll get better at seeing the ones that you would really like to take a trade on. Everything improves with time. It's not going to feel comfortable doing it in the beginning. It's going to feel like, what am I actually doing here? But over time, you'll get to the point where it's just a matter of like a meditation. Like you just meditate doing executions, pushing the envelope of getting in with no fear or expectation of the outcome. You're just looking at price gravitating towards a level that you think is going to be magnetized for price. It's going to draw to it. It doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't need to be right. It doesn't mean that you are a bad trader if you have more executions that get stopped out than winning executions, because it's an exercise. When you go to the gym, you work out, you go there for 2 weeks. Are you at the weight and the physique that you wanted to do or have at the time when you first started out to have the goal of wanting to exercise and improve your wellness and health? No, of course not. But by doing those things, you're going to do what? Move in the direction of getting to that goal. And you have to have some kind of structured approach. And going in and attacking pools of liquidity, going in using fair value gaps, every single one that pops up, engage in it. Just use it. Just get in there and pop it and just trade on it. And what will happen is you'll get better at doing it over and over and over again. And you build this affinity for what the market's doing at that given time. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. It may not make sense to some of you. It may sound like a bunch of bullshit, but the bottom line is there's nothing there. I'm not afraid of pushing the button in front of all of you. Okay, I'm literally just reading every tiny little minor fluctuation without any kind of rhyme or reason, except for here's where it could draw to for stops, and here's the right now fair value gap. And the right now fair value gap is not always the right one, and that's what you get by doing this. You find out the ones that work because you've done enough of them. You've seen enough of it. Okay, so give me a second here. I think I did 10, didn't I? Did I do 10? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. 10 of them. The net result's $3,575. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 negative transactions inside of 10 transactions of drills, not highly selected trades, not high probability entries, not the ones I want to trade on, but I'm forcing myself to take as the market's moving around. If it creates a fair value gap, I want to see it draw to a particular pool of liquidity. That's what we watched today. That's all we watched today. Okay, that's all it is. And when you go into your demo account trading and you use it like this, it gives you now a baseline. Now, you can't use today's as your experience because it was me doing what I was doing. Okay, I was making the decisions doing all this today. not you. So what I want you to do is go forward with this. And if you can, if you have the ability to do it today in the afternoon, try to do it where you're going to engage with a 15-second chart or 1-minute chart and take as many executions as you can. You want to use a 1-minute chart, as the highest time frame, because the 1-minute chart is going to give you lots of opportunities to practice. The 15-second chart will give you even more because there's a whole lot more price delivery. And there's lots of fair value gaps that form on this time frame. There's lots of little pools of liquidity, little short-term highs, little short-term lows, and whatnot. So it gives you a great deal of framework to practice in. It's a perfect little laboratory experiment. And it hopefully, if you use it this way as a coaching mechanism for yourself, like you can do your own measurement of progress by doing this every single day. Now, what time was my first execution? 9:30 something, right? No, over here. 9:51. Is that right? I think no. Here you go. All right, so 9:36. All right. I didn't do anything earlier than that. No, I did. Yeah. There we go. 9:26. 9:26. And then stopped out there, and then I used the first fair value gap of the morning, and then look where it was there, to all the way down to the relative equal lows. That's how you take your framework in your exercise and say, okay, which one of all the trades I was in, which one was my best one, which one was my worst one, and which one was the closest one aligned with what actually delivered the best in the parts of trading. And you can see that, it's pretty good, isn't it? It's random. But trading down to where I told you yesterday, it would most likely reach for, and we're in that now. So next order of business is that weekly buy side balance, sell side inefficiencies, consequent encroachment. And that's volatility pinball. It means you're buying and selling using every fair value gap that forms on a 15-second or a 1-minute chart. And you're going to run with that to a old high or an old low. That's all you're doing. And you just practice doing that. I promise you, it will feel weird doing it. It'll feel like you're wasting time. It'll feel like you don't know what you're doing. Why do this? Why do this? When you start getting a baseline measurement of what it is that you're measuring, and I want you to think about me aiming for these relative equal highs and then trading up into the consequent encroachment of that wick right there. You see that? Look at that delivery. And then down into the low here. You're not going to find that in your Elliott wave shit. Okay? You're not going to find that. But just when you come to my videos and you watch my live streams or whatnot, or you read my Twitter posts, I have a great deal of fun, torquing up people that love to hate me. I'm convinced that not all of them really genuinely hate me. They like to get a rise out of me. And I don't mind. I like to reciprocate and give a little bit back to them. There's the consequent encroachment of the buy side balance, also inefficiency rather. And it's for sport. Okay, I'm not losing sleep over anything anybody says about me online, because I know what I know. I know I can trade. I know I've made millionaire students. I have profitable students all around the world. I have new students coming in learning right now with you, side by side, and they're learning right along with my son. So when you see, I guess it's like, what are you here for? Because if you're here just to poke fun, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to block you because of that. But if you constantly take what I said out of context, I'm going to mute you because you're not being honest. You're not reporting back what really was going on. Like today, there's no doubting it. Now you've seen it. Okay, there's pushing the buttons. There's a net result at the end that even if you look at that, that's not my real result. My real result would be simply taking that first fair value gap entry and then adding more to it here, pyramiding there, and pyramiding into that. And I don't want to go so far as to say I'd be in this pyramid in that, but I would have been out in here. And all you gotta do is look at my trades and see that that's how I trade it. That's how I do it. And when people say, do it live, do it live, do it live, I know really what you want to see. You want to see it so that way you can copy me. That's really, really, really what you want. And I really, really love denying that because it's problematic for me. Okay. I can trade without any emotion when I know that I'm the only one in there. When I'm by myself and no one is aware of what I'm doing, I feel confident that I'm equipped to measure the risk and to incur that risk. If I'm wrong, I'm willing to be wrong. But I'm not willing as a mentor, as a teacher, to allow you to assume greater risk than you really should take on. And what does that mean? I'm certain that some of you probably did some of these things today with a live account or a funded account or a challenged combine, something to that effect. And I'm dreading going over to Twitter just for that. Not because of anybody else that might have something trolling to say, because I don't know what the fuck they're going to troll today, because it's pretty much obvious now. But I get nervous. Okay, I'm gonna be real honest with you. I get really, really nervous when I know other people are risking money on the things that I'm doing because I don't have that fear. I don't look at my transactions as I'm going to lose money. I'm going to hurt myself financially. I don't feel that. And when I see other people telling me that, thank you, ICT, you're the king, high five, and it's showing me their trade that this took, and I know that that was based on what I just said in a live stream, my stomach turns in a knot. That makes me emotional about what I'm going to do next. And I don't feel that otherwise. I'm like a psychotic killer. I'm zero of emotion. I have nothing. I'm blanked out in emotion. Like I don't have any feelings when I'm trading. I have zero feelings. But if I know I have students around the world that are potentially putting real money at risk behind that, now all of a sudden my mind moves from the process of watching these candles do what I want them to do to now, are they being smart enough to take the partial off here? Are they freaking out when this retracement's occurring right now when I'm not nervous about it? Think about how it was booking price back here. I can take these off now. When price was trading here with the inversion fair value gap, and I was talking about how price can use the same effect that we seen, and I taught the 2022 model, the one the kid just made $1 million of. I supposedly just watched one video. Dude, be honest, man. This higher fair value gap there, because it's there with this inversion fair value gap. Remember I was teaching yesterday about the inversion fair value gap. It's got to trade away from it and then come back up. And you want to see the body stay in the lower half, but it can wick to the upper half of it. Now, in this case, what is it doing? It's wicking outside of that orange box. Is that normal? In this instance, it is. Why? Because I called your attention to this fair value gap because it's a similar idea that having two fair value gaps stacked up on the distribution side of the curve here when it's going down, it can stab up into that. So your stop loss has to be making an allowance for the market to trade up into that. But how far can it trade up into it? It needs to stay below the upper half or the midpoint here. And you can see it does that. So there's no reason to fear, doing it wrong, because there's enough winning trades out there to fix all that stuff. And they repeat a lot. And you saw me do a lot of trades executions here today, and using a 15-second chart, I was buying and selling, and even forcing myself into situations where I knew it was low probability. But you're able to see me call it, why it should do what it should do when it's on side. That's the takeaway. I told you where I was going to go to yesterday. We traded to it today. I would be completely done with the morning session and I would close my charts. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to do that now. So I hope you learned something today. I hope you had fun doing it. I hope you've been inspired to practice with your demo account like this now. Don't be discouraged if you're not doing these type of setups. If you can't see these things in the beginning, that's a byproduct of you practicing and studying ongoing. That's what you get over time, Caleb. You're not going to get like this just the first few times that you start doing it, but still submit to it every day. And over time, how much time? Months. You'll see progress in a couple weeks, but you'll see notable progress in 2 to 3 months. By doing that as a natural progression of working towards refining your skill, being able to read price, using limit orders, always limit orders, always limit orders, always limit orders, not marketing in. Not marketing in. If you're using a market order, you're rushing, you're being impulsive, and you're probably being emotional. And the only time that is invited and allowed is when you're trying to hurry up, protect your money. If you feel like something's amiss, something's really wrong, it's easier just to close the trade and just be out of it. Just do that. Move to the sidelines and mark it out. Just get out. But entering a trade, you should never, ever, ever, even though you've seen a plethora of me entering my trades with a market order because I'm using these hot buttons up here. Again, I have only been doing that to show you that it's not market replay. Okay? So clearly we saw executions today only on the basis of limit orders today. Only limit orders. And I'm going to leave it to you all as the community. Okay. Do you see any value in having this as a exercise? Do you have any reasons why this would not be beneficial to someone that would be trying to learn how to do what I teach? Because you have to do stuff when I'm not talking. In between, when you're watching videos, what are you as the student in the making? What are you as the person trying to learn how to do this? What are you doing? What are you bringing to this journey? Because if it's just ICT talking to you and I'm entertaining you and hopefully communicating something that's useful to you and engaging your attention, if that's all there is to it, then you're never going to get good at this. You're never going to make money with it. And you're never going to be able to pass these account fund challenges you put forth in front of you. Because this is the stuff you have to do. This is all part of it. And if you don't recognize that, if you don't see it for what it is, then you're wasting your time. I'm not wasting your time. I'm not giving you stuff that doesn't work. I'm giving you stuff that absolutely works. And as much as you think it's too much to listen to and too much to go through, you look at all those videos over there on that YouTube channel. 500 plus videos, man, or whatever it is. I don't even know what the count is. But you don't have to watch all those videos. If you just start with the 2024 mentorship, I'm literally giving you a hand-holding session as best as I can over real-time price action, just like I was when I was doing mentorship. Nothing here is getting deleted. Nothing ever gets edited. The live stream goes up on the live stream section of the YouTube channel as is. Anything that I've said incorrectly, anything that I've done wrong or incorrect is still in there. That's exactly how it was for me on my paid mentorship. That's exactly how it was. I've never edited anything, absolutely nothing, to make myself look good. I don't need to. All I got to do is be myself and I look good. So you either find value in this and you come back tomorrow, or you go somewhere else. It's simple as that. Okay. I have no problems doing executions. I have no problem teaching you how to do it. I have no problem showing you the history tab when it's beneficial for you. But I like to make sure that there's nothing in my mind that's distracting me. And in my mind, if I worked for TradingView and I had the ability to put something on my account and I could link it to some kind of trade copying service, I would absolutely fucking do it. And I don't care if it risks being fired, because if I could get a week out of it, fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm going to do that. Because I'm sure TradingView ain't paying the kind of money that someone doing 15 contracts in a funded account setting, because my stops are tight. Everybody else that uses those 15 contracts, they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They're over leveraged. They have no idea what price is doing, and they're blowing out. That's why these guys that are influencers are always resetting. They're always fucking resetting because they do not know how to fucking trade. But they're in there influencing you. They're influencing you to do what? To buy more resets. I'm teaching you how to do no more resets. You just do one. You get your money, make real money with it, and go into a real brokerage account and trade with one contract and build up. When you have 1.5 times the full margin, then you add one contract. That's proper risk management. That's how you do it. That's how you really, really do it. And it's not about, but I can't make these 5-figure and 6-figure payouts. You're playing the lottery, man. That's not what trading is. Trading is about making consistent progress and income. Let time do the heavy lifting. You think that you getting in there trying to get these big windfall victories, that's the answer to your problem. And what you're going to do is you're going to create a new monster in you where nothing satisfies you except for that. And what happens when you can't do it consistently? You're going to blow up. Now contrast that with Cool Hand Luke. Comes out, says, I'm going to listen to ICT. A lot of people say a lot of shit about this man, but he just come out here today and proved it once more, live stream entries and exits and everything. And I believe he's been proving with his executions that they were legitimately done with the concepts that he's taught. And I used it again live today, even in a drill setting. And it still does better than most of your guys that you're watching on live stream. I'm telling you what the market's going to do. And when they're staring at the fucking chart, trying to figure out what the fuck it's doing. Well, maybe it's going to go up to the VWAP. Maybe it's going to do this. Maybe it's going to do that. Well, let's see if it does this. Fuck that. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's going to do this. And if I'm wrong, no problem. It's giving me more intel. I'm going to do the opposite or sit still and wait for the next setup. I'm not reacting. I'm anticipating. I'm predicting the future. And you have to have that as a goal in mind. You have to discount all the other shit that people say that the market is random, because it's not, that you have to react to price. Okay. If you're reacting, you're always in second place at the best. That means the person in the front of the line, you're reacting to what they're doing because they're the winner. Second place is never winning. It's never, ever winning. It's never, ever winning. They only have the same perspective, and the view is the ass of the guy that's leading. That's the best you get to see. And you want to be the lead dog. You want to have the view in front of you. Everything's in front of you, wide open. Wherever you want to go in trading, that's what I'm giving you. I'm giving you that. You have all the freedom in the world to take whatever PD array. Like, I'm using just the fair value gap. Just the fair value gap. But if you go in here and you look at just order blocks, the same thing. You practice, you do your price action exercises and drills using volatility pinball. This means you're just going every time it creates it. You don't try to put the emphasis on this is the right one, this is the wrong one. Every time it happens that you think you see it in the chart, engage it. Engage it. Engage it. I missed a few of them in here because I'm trained to look for the right ones. So I have to go in there purposely and try to fuck it up a little bit, because if I go out here and just trade, then it doesn't serve the purpose of what I'm trying to show you here, is where you don't want to have to demand that you're right all the time. And when you have less experience than I have, and you just start, I'm reminding you, I'm giving you the permission as your teacher, as your mentor, that it's normal for you not to know what you're doing. And it's also normal for you to feel uncomfortable doing at all, any of this, because you don't know necessarily what it is you're doing. Doesn't matter. 10, 15, 20 executions every single day. Takes you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half at worst. But the time that you invest in doing this pays dividends that you can't even imagine, because it gives you the eye to see the ones that are the right ones. How do you recognize that, ICT? Because I fucking have seen them thousands and thousands and thousands of times within market delivery, within a present idea that I have for higher time frame, where I believe the market's going to trade to based on the economic calendar. All those are factors, but you can't get that answer that satisfies you in one post in a tweet or one sentence because you're asking for something that can't be accomplished with something so small in its capacity or bandwidth. Like you're asking for something that needs a novel to justify why it's better to do it this way than what you're probably going to do if I give it to you in a short condensed version. Here's the short condensed version, and watch how you wreck yourself. Ready? High probability, successful, profitable trading is done by simply understanding where the market's going to go to next at the right time of the day. Knowing where a high probability retracement is likely, but not to go past, so you can use a stop loss to lock in that underlying risk. And know in advance where there's potential levels where you can take partials along the way, removing the necessity about being correct until you get to your terminus. That's it. I just told you everything that my concepts do. Now, that's a huge void to fill in. What do you mean by that, ICT? What the fuck's a partial? Where do you take a partial? Where do I put a stop loss at? Where do you frame a high probability trade? When is it high probability? Well, you first have to determine when it's low probability, and that's what we've been focusing on. That's how I opened up every new mentorship. Every single time a new group was brought in and I started a new year, I started with them looking at, here is high resistance liquidity profiles. This is problematic conditions. And it just seemed like to people that wanted to find any excuse, oh, this guy doesn't know how to trade. Let me get the fuck out of here. Give me my money back. Get the fuck out of here, clown. Get out of here. I guarantee you, those people that quit in 2016, the very first fucking group, some of them actually did come back in to 2018, 2019 group. Some of them actually did come back in. But the ones that quit and then never went back to try to get back into mentorship, I'm sure they studied the leak content. But I promise you they didn't do any well. They probably have either quit trading entirely or have lost money to the degree where it's probably warped them because they're chasing, give me money, give me trades right now. You're a fraud unless I see you making me money. Put me in trades or you're a fraud. And to those type of people, I have a very simple statement. Go fuck yourself. Because I don't owe that to you and nobody else does either. I didn't open up a signal service. I taught price action, how to read price. I can stand out here every single fucking day. I can do it in a courtroom. I can do it in front of the Supreme Court. I can do it on fucking TV. I can do it under a fucking lie detector. I can do whatever the fuck you want me to do, okay? If you want me wearing fucking a different color jumpsuit, I'll do that too. I can fucking break dance and fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to forget how to do this. But what is astonishing is every single time I do it, you get amnesia, like it didn't fucking happen. Like you didn't see me do it today. Because you want me to get riled up and say, well, watch this. I'm going to prove it. I'm not doing that. I know what you are doing. I know exactly what you're doing. And I would want to do it too. I would want to get me all goaded up into thinking I got to come out here and prove myself every day. So that way you can copy me. And that's not going to happen. I have this economy. I teach you conceptually. I prove it with real-time examples. Okay? I proved it with real money in real accounts, not just in paper trading. When I'm teaching it, I have to do it in a paper trading account because the protection that it affords me, because I'm not acting or operating as a financial advisor, which is very, very important to me because I am not loving the idea of teaching you so much that I'm willing to open myself up to liability and pretending to be a financial professional that would tell you what to do with your money. I'm not like that at all. So I teach with a demo account. I teach with a paper trading account. And because this is all live real-time data, and you're all watching your own real-time data too, you know what I showed you today, and every time I live stream is absolutely 100% fucking factual and true. I am not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of any market condition. I'm not surprised by anything. I'm not taken back by anything. I know what I'm looking for, and if it doesn't give it to me, that's okay. I will wait and I will take it later. It's simple. It's very, very simple. And that sounds like arrogance. That sounds narcissistic, but it's just confidence in knowing what I know. And my students that get really good at this, that's a byproduct of it. You're never going to tell them they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're going to laugh in your fucking face. And if you come at them, don't be upset when they break your heart and tell you you're full of shit. And they're going to be quick to say, you put yours up against mine. That's how you know they're one of mine. Because one of mine will walk a fucking mud hole in your ass. Simple. So hopefully, like I said, you had some information given to you today, something that was useful. This is Volatility Pinball. It's an exercise where you go in, whatever PD array, okay, whatever one that you like. Don't let me feel like I'm forcing the fair value gap on you like I'm doing my son. Like Caleb doesn't have a choice in the matter right now. Later on, once he proves he can do it consistently with the fair value gap, if he wants to start doing another PD array, have at it, son. But right now, you have to start somewhere. And starting somewhere is where everybody you have to start somewhere. And it gives you a baseline experience. And then it's all up from there. It's all up from there. It's never, I'm getting less experience by doing more of the same thing. No, you're getting more experience. And by going out here and engaging the uncertainty of real-time price action, engaging the hard right edge, not knowing what the fuck's going on. Think about that. Think about that. John Q. Public is looking at this chart right now. Maybe not on the 15-second chart. But they're looking at that chart right now and they're thinking, what the actual fuck is this thing doing? Like, what is going on? Where is this thing going? I got to know. Like, I'm down. I lost money. What the hell am I going to do here? And here we walk this pony. In here, I told you it was going to likely go up to a level here, but not go past a certain one. It's going to treat these specific levels in a manner that is defined already in pre-live stream today's lectures. That means you are aware of the logic. And all I did was lean on the logic that I've already taught you. And I used it real time. Folks, listen. Okay. When I was trading Forex, they said, show me your MyFX book. Fuck you. Watch my live executions and my commentary. Because you can't fake that. You can't fake that. Okay. You cannot fake that shit. MyFX book, absolutely faked. You can fake that shit all day long. Anybody that trades the Forex market right now, honestly, if they have never had an interest in going into futures, that's a red flag for me. Because that means they got to come out of MT4. That means they got to come out of their white label fake broker, their shell company broker. That means that they're showing you something that's fucking artificial and fake. And they're making money through affiliates and course sales. Simple and straight and forward. That's the way it is. Okay. And if you don't fucking like that and you're one of those guys, prove yourself different. Prove it differently. You don't owe me any evidence. I don't give two fucks what you do. I'm not impressed by any of them. But for the people that are looking to them and sucking them off publicly, oh, I love you, King. Oh, my goodness, let me give you a happy ending. Like, what the fuck? Man up. These fucking guys, okay, do not deserve to be worshipped. I don't fucking need to be deserving of any of that shit. That's why I strike it down. Nobody, only God gets worshipped. Only God gets worshipped. And some of these clowns walk around here and they want you sucking them off publicly. They want to be lifted up on a pedestal. And they want to put a price tag on it. Here, worship me and pay me this much money so you can do it. And they're lying to you. They're fucking defrauding you. They're literally lying to you and saying, look at this, man. I turned $100 into $100,000. The bullshit you did. Bullshit you fucking did. Okay? You're a fucking liar. You are a liar. Okay? You're a fucking clown liar. All you fucking Forex clowns are fucking liars because you're staying in an MT4 world where you can fake it. Come out into a real broker setting. Come out where you can't manipulate the bullshit, where you got to use the same data everybody else does. And then turn your small accounts to 6 figures in a couple days. It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. And unfortunately, there's a whole new round of suckers and dumbasses that come in this industry. And if I was a piece of shit like some of you think I am, that lie and say that I am, I have the highest seat right now. I have the highest retention and viewership on live streaming. I have the biggest following in terms of people watching just for futures and ongoing education. And I'm doing it for fucking free. And I'm telling people, stop emailing me. I'm not doing paid mentorship. Stop contacting me through Twitter and asking me for paid mentorship. Stop leaving comments on my YouTube channel. Can I get into your paid mentorship? Can I pay for your paid mentorship? My paid mentorship is on my YouTube channel. It's in the 2016-2017 playlist. That's all of my paid mentorship. Anybody that joined my paid mentorship after that got those lectures. That's it. So stop asking me, can you please take my money, ICT? Send your money to St. Jude. There you go. You want to spend your money so well? Send it there. That's a worthy charity. I support that charity. I'm 100% behind St. Jude. You don't need to send. I'm fucking loaded. I'm rich. I'm fucking rich. And the proof is I'm doing this for free. I don't have a panhandle out saying, please pay for my fucking Lamborghini. Please pay for my fucking McLaren. Please pay for my fucking vacations. Please pay for my this and pay for that. I pay for everything out of my own fucking pocket. If I want something, I'll look at these fucking charts and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'll make what I need to make. Done. Simple. Truth be told, I don't even need to do that anymore. I have enough. I just got to dip into what I have. I don't ever need to trade ever again. So who are you going to believe? Seriously, I'm saying this and I'm turning this fucking video off. Who are you really going to believe? The guy that's sitting out here saying, I don't want your money. You're never going to get another opportunity to send me money. I gave my stuff that I sold as education for free on the YouTube channel, and I'm teaching ongoing for free. I'm proving it in live streams. I'm literally pushing a button in front of you. I'm doing everything absolutely what everybody else is hiding and won't ever fucking do, and they're still selling courses. And they're selling my shit for more than 2 times that I sold it for. Who are you going to fucking believe? You don't think that they have a real vested interest in trying to make you doubt me? Because they have their sock puppet accounts pushing that narrative, that bullshit, because they don't want to lose more sales because I'm beating their ass. I'm literally squeezing their fucking nuts in a vice right now. They're squealing. They're hating fucking life right now. They're hating me. They fucking hate me even more today. And we're not done. Oh, we're not done. We are not done. But who are you going to believe? Seriously, who the fuck are you going to believe? There were some talkers that said they were going to join the Robbins Cup. Okay? Here's what happened. I went in the Robbins Cup and I told Joel Robbins, I said, listen, anybody and everybody that's going to come and contact you, you tell them exactly what my account's sitting at. And I sat there and I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. And I pushed that fucking account down to $900 fucking dollars. And I sat there and I waited and I fucking waited and I fucking waited. And not one of these fucking yahoos, no Vinny E. Minnie, because that's who I really fucking wanted. I really wanted Vinny to do that. I really wanted him to join. But circumstances panned out as they have. He's already been dealt with. It's done. It needs to lie. If he raises it up even more, you brought it on yourself. But that one never stepped. And I can understand why he never stepped. If he's smart, he'll shut his fucking mouth and let things lie. But if he stirs it up, I have every bit of the ammunition I can fucking do to make everything fucking painful. I never wanted to do that, Vinny. I never wanted to do that at all. But I told you, if you wanted to have a competition, let's have it in the Robbins. And I baited 2 other guys. 2 other guys. None of them made it that way. I could take that $900 and run it right back on up. But it's been bait. It's been bait the whole fucking time. The whole fucking time. And you're out here sitting there thinking, you're clowning me. I have fucking trolled and tried to get these guys to come out here. And they won't do it. Why? Because they have a mentorship. They have something they're selling. And the litmus test is this. Who the fuck are you going to believe? I'm out here proving my shit in the lens of everybody watching it live. Invited them to come out into a setting where they have to prove themselves. Not just do sporadic once in a while live stream. Here, let me do something. I'll show you what I did today. Pre-recorded this, pre-recorded that. No. That doesn't work. I got very, very thick skin. Very thick skin. I have dragon scales, okay? There ain't a motherfucker worrying me. But I will go out there and rip my own image up just to drag these fuckers out here in the center and tear their throats out in public, in front of everyone. I went to great extremes to try to get these guys to do anything and everything in there to do something, and they won't. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? Why would they not want to do that? Because they stand to lose their meal ticket, their mentorships, their services, their bullshit. Okay? That's exactly what it is. Every single fucking trade that I put on in that Robbins Cup had nothing to do with anything except for me just pushing the button. Push, 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 push. I did that shit on purpose. There's no logic like you're seeing here live. You're never seeing that. And I have waited and I waited and I waited and I waited. Not one motherfucker stepped. Not one. And I thought for sure, I told my wife, I said, man, I'm telling you, I know as soon as they contact Joel and they say, look, he's in drawdown, they're gonna pounce on it. And that's exactly what I've been wanting. So now you know. You fucking know. You still have time. You still have time, you Jordans of the fucking trading. The master of fucking trading. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. You know what I'm starting with. You know what I'm starting with. And I'm still going to beat your fucking ass. So let's fucking go. I'm not afraid. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not intimidated. I'm not anything but fucking ready. And if you don't think you got enough time, we can restart this fucking shit for the 2025. There you go. But I wanted to be pushed. I wanted to be fucking challenged. And the only way I could challenge myself is to put myself in such the lowest point. I could not come any lower than I am right now. I can come back from that. I can come back from that. You can't. You can't. But I fucking can. And I wanted to fucking rub it in your fucking face. Because that's just what an ICT would do. So there's your facts. There's your skinny on what's going on with the Robbins Cup. You don't believe me? Contact them. They'll tell you. All it was is push, 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 push. No rhyme or reason. I just want to draw the account down because I knew Vinny E. Minnie was going to contact. I know his little blow boy, Curtis, would be calling and contacting. Hey, ICT is lying online saying he's winning the Robbins Cup. Could you verify that, please? Oh, certainly. Let me take a look. Yep. Here's where his account is. But none of those motherfuckers stepped. Not one of those motherfuckers stepped. Do I sound like I'm intimidated or scared? Do I sound like I'm embarrassed? Fuck no. Like I said, we can still do this year. We can still do it. Absolutely we can. Brent could move aside and let the man go through, and I could be at that number one spot. But I want someone to dance with. You guys promised me. You said you were going to fucking do it, and you didn't do it. Of all the years I've had people come forward, I thought for certain the M7 guy was going to do it. I was confident that he was going to do it. He didn't do it. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Come on, man. I got excited when you popped up here and you said it was a clerical error. I thought that was shit. Yeah, now I got somebody. Nope. I don't have anybody. And Dave teaches bullshit. Forget about it. That fucking guy's a fraud. Fucking clown. He would have done it if he could do it. Period. You need a full year? The invitation is again for 2025 if you want to do it. If you can roll what you got right now by the end of the year, I will use what I got. And you can verify it with Joe Robbins that not one motherfucking penny will be added to that account. Not one fucking penny will be added to it. And I'll still whip your ass. Now, how humiliating would that be? With less than $1,000, I came back. The fucking rookie sensation ICT comes back with a fucking surprise upset. The October surprise. Woo! How about it? You ready? I'm ready. I am fucking ready. Listen, I have worked very hard all year long, biting my fucking tongue, hoping that you'd say, you know what? I got his ass finally. There's no way. There's no fucking way he can come back from this. Because if he adds money, he broke his rule. Yep. But not one of these guys came forward. Not one of them. But they got engagements. And they got people talking. But you don't see them out here proving shit. You don't see them out here doing it for free. You see people saying they're full of shit. And wow, ICT is finally doing it for real. Look at it. Look at it. There it is. Yep. There's a Global Cup right now going on. It's going on till the last day of May of 2025. We can slide right on in there. I already got approved by Iron Beam. All I got to do is fund the account. If you say that you're going to go do it, and you just get on the 5th spot, that way I know for certain that you're really going to make an attempt to do it. And I will absolutely beat Larry Williams. But you stole something from me for this year. Like, I literally wanted this to happen. I really, really wanted it to happen. It would have been so much more fun if you guys would have participated. But you didn't. And it kind of, it irks me. It irks the fuck out of me. So, here we are. We're sitting here watching ICT prove it live. But some of you just simply aren't going to like me. You're not going to believe me because you didn't win the Robbins Cup, ICT. Your reputation's at stake. My reputation has always been a demo trader. How the fuck am I going to wreck that? Think about it. And I'm not here for reputation. I'm here for fun. I'm here for fun and entertainment. If this stuff didn't work, I wouldn't be out here live doing it. If I couldn't do it, I certainly wouldn't be out here trying to do something I don't know. I know how to do it. And I love playing the strings of all these people here that talk shit about me. I love it. I came back to Twitter just for that purpose. For that very reason. And some of you are going to ignore what you watched here today. You're going to ignore everything I'm proving this year in the mentorship that's been given to you for free. Because you're going to look at a pewter trophy of a bull and a bear that I don't hold in my hands yet. But do you honestly, okay, seriously, sincerely mean this, okay? Do you think it's hard to make 400%? It's fucking easy. And that's all that's going on right now. That's it. And you need me to do that, and you're ignoring all this evidence that's being shown to you beforehand. You're going to ignore this, and you're going to point to that, because that's what trolls are going to do. That's exactly what trolls are going to do. And you're either going to join that bandwagon, and you're welcome to do it. I'm just going to have more people that's going to make me laugh and smile, and none of that shit bothers me. See, you all would be hiding under a fucking rock. You would delete all your social media. You would never go online again. That's what you would do. But I'm in control of everything I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I am absolutely in control of what I'm doing. And I am teaching things that work in real time. I'm proving it. I'm proving the logic. And I'm also willing to be in any competition. But I got to have competition, folks. Like, I want the competition. I want that. I don't want to just, yeah, I want it. What the fuck? Big deal. I wanted these guys and anybody else that was sitting on the sidelines thinking, I'm going to fucking go after this guy. I'm going to go after him and I'm going to do it. And nothing happened, really. It was a lackluster all year long, a couple 100%. That's all you ever saw. That's easy. I'm going to show it to you this month. I'm going to show you this month. It's easy to do that. I don't need to win the Robbins Cup to know that I know how to trade. But some of you think that that's the litmus test that says, see, he's a fraud. Because I gave you that invitation to think that. I want you to think that. Because that means I'm going to divide the crowd like I always do. And if I have a divided audience, that means I have a talking audience. And a talking audience is going to, what? They're going to advertise for me. And it brings more people here and more students learn. For free. For free. So are you someone that's going to ignore everything you're seeing here that's being done live? In a live stream, executed, point blank, buttons are pushed with a limit order, not market replay, telling you why it should happen. And we've been doing it for 8 weeks now. Telling you what the market's going to do, candlestick by candlestick. Is that value? I don't know. For some of you, it might not be. For others, it might be, this is a fucking amazing opportunity. And I don't give a shit about Robin's Cup. I don't care if you ever do Robin's Cup. I intend absolutely to do Robin's Cup. But I have to do it the way I want to do it because I only want to do it one time. And I thought I was given an opportunity this year to do it, and I did not get any competition because it's not enough to me just go out there and beat my mentor. I want to have something else to hang my hat on. And I just thought it would be great to be able to show the world that here are individuals that were in our community, in Twitter, in FinTwit, and they were willing to step in there with me, regardless of the outcome, and they really weren't. And nobody would come out here and say this stuff if it was happening to them. If it was by some circumstance or lack of ability, they would just disappear. I'm not that kind of guy because I want you to still doubt it and say, I'm going in and I'm going to do it. Great. That's exactly what I want you to do. And if you lose to me, it's not anything to be bad or be bad mouthed about. No one should troll you if you lose. If you really get in there and you get on the leaderboard and you really try to do well, but you still fall victim to me winning it, that's not something bad. That's exactly what's going to fucking happen. So you shouldn't be surprised by that. Nobody would be, really. But I would love to champion the idea that you had the balls to get in there with me. And that's what's lacking in this industry. Nobody's willing to put their reputation on the line. I will absolutely burn my fucking reputation to the ground and come like a phoenix, come right back out of that shit. Because I can. I can do that. What do I have to lose here? Some subscribers, some people that don't want to watch my videos. Somebody's going to leave a trolling comment to me. That's not going to make me forget how to trade. That's not going to make my students that know how to learn how to read price action to eventually learn how to make a profitable trade and do it without me coaching them, without doing anything to tell them where the market's going to go. That's not going to make them forget or somehow think, oh, well, I don't want to do this anymore because he didn't get a pewter trophy. Think about it, folks. You have a line in the sand in front of you. Did you get into this to learn how to trade and make money? Or did you get into this to worship somebody? I'm not a hero. I'm an anti-hero. And you never, ever, ever want to meet your hero. Never. I'm in my villain arc right now. Okay, in case you haven't noticed, this is the villain arc of ICT. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. Lots of fun with it. But at the same time, I can be helpful. I can teach. I can show you how it's going to help you and make your decision-making process about trading and investing more direct and without going through a lot of the stuff I had to go through. It doesn't mean profitability. It doesn't mean that your profits are guaranteed. It doesn't mean success is guaranteed. It just means that through my experience with teaching lots of people and my own personal experience, these are the best ways that I think that someone should go around learning how to do this. And if they aren't willing to come out here and sit in front of the world like I'm doing here and explain to you why it should be beneficial to expect this or that, to push a button live, explain it, why it should take place, then they're not worth paying. They're not worth listening to. Their course isn't worth shit. Their sermons aren't worth listening to. Their wares are not worth purchasing. All that stuff. It's all bullshit. And drama marketing, listen, I'm a master of that. All I got to do is start a fire. I can start a fire easy. I just started one today. Twitter's going to be ablaze with this shit. And guess what that means? More people are going to come and they're going to want to talk and they're going to watch and they're going to watch me do what you just saw me do today, but even better. And they're going to be like, fuck Robbins, this guy's doing exactly what I want to learn. I don't give a shit what he's doing. I don't care about Michael. I just want to hear what he's teaching. I care about that. If that can make me some bread, that's what I'm all about. That's the right mindset. That's the person that's passed the test. That's how you know you graduated, because it's not about being tethered to me. I want you to be able to say, you know what, Michael, I appreciate everything you've done for me, but fuck the fuck off. I have a life to live now. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make money and catch you on the flip side. If I see you, I see you. That's the right mentality. That's the mentality that I want all of you to have. Not hold my hand, ICT. Guide me. Stay my guru, ICT. Fuck that shit. I don't want that. You shouldn't want that from anybody. You want to be independent. You want to be independent thinker. You want to be independent trader, devoid of any outside influence. That means me or any other influencer. Think about it. Isn't that really what you want? You want to be able to do these things on your own and not have to worry about listening to long-winded fucking videos, studying this one and studying that one. You'll know what you know and you'll be able to implement it. That's why I got into trading. I wanted to learn how to make money. I love Larry Williams as a man, as a mentor. He gave me the best head start in the right direction. But I trade with very little of his stuff. But the impact he had as a mentor on me still has lasting impressions. Like it surfaces all the time. But it's not the technical stuff. It's not to go into the market and trade with this way of stuff. It's how about this is how you think about it. This is how you should think about it. This is how you should approach it. And I don't agree with everything he teaches. I don't agree with a lot of the things he subscribes to. He doesn't believe in an algorithm controlling price. He believes it's buying and selling pressure. And that's my first real mentor. You don't see me trashing him, but I trash the idea and the logic that these markets are absolutely random and it's a buying and selling pressure, because clearly, as you've seen here today, I would not know this stuff. It was random buying and selling pressure. If it was what that was, then I should have been stopped out up here. And I wasn't. But I was able to outline exactly what it should do and how it happened. I should not be able to know that first fair value gap in between 9:30 and 10 o'clock should give you an enormous edge in terms of timing when the market's going to roll. And it did. And I'm in it too. And here's the first one back here. So when you read these people leaving comments, oh, do it live. I did it live. But you'll forget about it. Anybody can do this. Do it live. Okay, show me anybody that can be this precise. It's simple. Show me. Show me who that is. And until I talk to you tomorrow, be safe.